I have heard about Bitcoin, but it is banned in India, right?
No, it's not banned in India. So the Bitcoin was last spoken from our finance minister was Mr. Arun Jaitley at the time when he was alive. When he talked about Bitcoin, he said Bitcoin is not a legal tender. He said. So the meaning of that is when it's not a legal tender means it's like gold. It's not like it is like gold. Gold is also not a legal tender in India. But of course, gold is legal in terms of holding it as an asset, as a trading tool. People trade with gold. People hold gold as an asset, and then they make jewels out of it, right? Jewelry out of it. So what you cannot do is buy property or land or anything with gold, because when you do that, uh, you cannot have that particular insurance case if you had bought a land with it, and then if you had any discrepancy with the seller or buyer, and if you use gold, you cannot take that to the court. The court will say the transaction should have happened only with Indian rupees. Only then the case is admitted in the court. With gold, when you make a transaction, that case will not be admitted in the court. So the gold becomes a payment currency. It's kind of the same scenario that he put it for Bitcoin also. After that, of course, the trading was also a little hard because the banks were not supporting. But of course, just recently, the Supreme Court of India just made it clear that yes, Bitcoin is legal in India and it can be used for trading, and you can have bank accounts for the trading companies supporting bank accounts. So in that way, it is legal. It's never been illegal. It's never been called illegal in India at any point of time till now. Well, there's a lot of misconceptions, right? A lot of media just writes that the way they want to. Most times, so they've just written it that way.
Okay, thanks, Vikram.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, what do you do otherwise? What's your background?
Yeah, actually, I'm working in BPO sector, so I'm curious in other things to know the what's going around. I just came across this crypto thing, so I was trying curious to know what is this platform about. That's how I
Totally.
collect.
Yeah, you're in the right place. I think a lot of people here have many questions around it. So when you see those questions, hear those questions, I guess even if you don't have much, you probably learn about it from this meetup. And if you, in any time in between, if you have any doubt, just please comment. There is a message section, and also you can just like say what you wanted to say. Also, ask your questions. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for joining, Gulshan. Hi, man. Welcome, everyone.
Hi, hello. Hello, sir. Hi. How are you?
Very good. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Nice, nice.
This week there were many positive news from means crypto community, like
Okay, right, this week? Yeah, yeah. So because of that,
from
the
US.
price is
From US we have seen that Washington DC has means listed Bitcoin as uh, money, means currency.
wow. Okay.
Tomorrow was
So
it was tomorrow's news, I think.
okay, so in Washington,
Yesterday's news.
yesterday's news, something that I have not heard. Maybe I missed out on that. Today I was catching up with other things in the financial news. But yeah, so what was the specific like in the whole of US? They have called it as a currency, so anybody can use it as
In
payment.
some
Totally.
states, I think.
That's what I
Yeah,
wanted to hear. Yeah, I think in some states.
Washington DC, I think.
Washington DC. So that would be the only city state then,
Yeah,
because US is like a pretty like they have their own controls in every state.
every state has different laws and all these things. And one more news was that Narendra Modi has, PM had shot out for blockchain.
Totally, totally. That is something that I was waiting to talk about, and it's one of the news for us in this week. I heard that 3 days ago, I saw a post where he said he was promoting blockchain, and the blockchain related setups will be like something that will take over, and we would be like using those. I wanted to see a specific message that has come out from here, from the note. And also the Ethereum kind of like gained a lot of traction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so coin telegraphs, I saw that. But yes, very nice actually. PM Modi invites investments in fund in these kind of technologies, including blockchain. So he's backing up the blockchain. I think specific to blockchain, he had spoken long time ago once, but there was a lot of gap, and I think this was another significant move.
Our finance minister also talked about the blockchain in this sector, in the shipping sector.
In what sector? Sorry.
Shipping business means that your supply chain.
Oh yeah, totally. I think they know exactly these are the places they have to tap blockchain because that secures the whole process of the whole economy of that particular companies and involved people. Because blockchain makes it a relevant thing to secure your products and everything, and there's no loop, there's nothing missing in between, right? It's like the IP. When you register the IP is how everything gets secured in your idea and your product and your things. In blockchain, it's like without that kind of like a detailed IP in blockchain, it just does it for free, like very quickly, very smoothly, very for smaller things like in the supply chain. If you have 3-4 people who's producing, storing, distributing, and eventually selling. So all those people, once they're on the blockchain, they kind of get like those small single pieces of IP. They register that this is the amount I produced and I sent. Nobody in between can then fake it. That gets to storage, from storage to distributed to the end product, to the person who has to receive it. The thing is getting recorded on a simple ledger, which is as good as an IP. So that's blockchain. I'm glad we're on it, and like I said, like how Indian wanted to get involved in blockchain under Modi's governance long time ago. Was at the time when long time ago when Modi was just elected. A couple of years after that, or 1 year after that, I think there was this coal mining licenses and a few things that was being allowed to bid. Those things they were mentioning that the blockchain kind of technology will make it very secure to go on that, allow the bidding on that, and then make it more transparent and those kind of things, because it's very controlled market, right? The coal market. That's what I heard latest. That even though the energy market is open for Indians to play with, but the source product of it, which is the coal, is so controlled that even though the licenses are given out for energy suppliers in many places, they're all not able to be a player because their main resource, which is the raw material, is being very well controlled. So that way, that kind of thing was talked about, but I guess nothing. It was still very new. I guess now it's really a time to explore blockchain technology. I'm hoping if there is another tenure and if they really look into it and use it, including for voting and things, right? There'll be a good use case of blockchain.
Yeah, in every kind.
Yeah. I guess one or two has
And the main thing is that they can't be manipulated. Means they are just a stamp, permanent stamp. You can't delete or you can't erase them.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want something that shouldn't be manipulated. The reason that a lot of governments having difficulty or people having difficulty is because the government says something and they release. By the time they bring it out to people, a lot of things are edited, deleted, and manipulated. Maybe those kind of things will reduce with blockchain, and it's also a learning process. Once some people do use and then we learn from it, that the results were good, that the results were helpful for the general public. I think that kind of technology like blockchain will get into all parts of our commerce, in our livelihood and our business and anything, to give us an equal opportunity everywhere. That's the beauty of blockchain and Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was new, the initial understanding that I had, like when the boom happened of the price in 2013, when so many new rich people came along, means they had thousands of Bitcoin worth nothing, like a video game points. they were holding initially. A lot of people were holding with half interest. It's like, oh, is this just like a video game coin? But then when the boom happened and the price suddenly increased, their thousands of Bitcoin became worth a lot of money. That really helped in terms of bringing it to the mainstream, and also bringing in a lot of new rich people. And the small beauty is that existing economy and the big whales in this existing economy are all well connected. So if you are a banker and you would give out a better loan or a better price loan or better interest rate loan to those who are rich only, and with the existing economy, the way the finance is working, all these rich people are connected together through that. In cryptocurrency, the new rich whales that are coming out in this economy, they're not necessarily connected together, they all work individually. So everyone who's participating in the crypto space more or less becomes equal to the other person. And the whales are necessarily using the crypto to, of course, to trade and to bring in a little bit more wealth, but they're not colluding with each other. In this economy, they're not necessarily connected together, they all work individually. So everyone who's participating in the crypto space more or less becomes equal to the other person. And the whales are necessarily using the crypto to, of course, to trade and to bring in a little bit more wealth, but they're not colluding with each other. In this economy, they're not necessarily connected together, they all work individually. So everyone who's participating in the crypto space more or less becomes equal to the other person. And the whales are necessarily using the crypto to, of course, to trade and bring in a little bit more wealth, but they're not colluding with each other. In this economy, they're not necessarily connected together, they all work individually. So everyone who's participating, known by the banks, known by the financial sectors, known by the politicians because they got funded by these whales. This is how it should be. I know it may not be like as I say it as clearly as that, but that's the little difference that is there. Anyway, Manohar, it's great to have the question. While you're asking, of course, you can keep the mic on. If you could keep the mic off otherwise, just to keep the disturbance less. Thank you very much. So yeah, in 2014, January 1st, I was invited to IT income tax department. They are like big whales from all the Indian income tax head office guys. They were all there in Bangalore because I started MonoCoin. Our team was gone. So yeah, in 2014, January 1st, I was invited to IT income tax department. They are like big whales from all the Indian income tax head office guys. They were all there in Bangalore because I started MonoCoin. Our team was gone. So yeah, in 2014, January 1st, I was invited to IT income tax department. They are like big whales from all the Indian income tax head office guys. They were all there in Bangalore because I started MonoCoin. Our team was gone. No importance at all. It had zero importance, nobody would have believed anything to do with Bitcoin, or nobody would have understood also what is Bitcoin. So those are the people who have more number of Bitcoins. At that time, nobody believed. Like I'm just saying about gaming points, right? Like if you open Farmville on Facebook and you store a lot of points and you tell your neighbors about it that you have a lot of points, what do you think your neighbors are going to do? They'll just laugh at you, and they'll say, "What is the use of these points? And you're wasting your time sitting and playing this game." It's exactly how Bitcoin was pursued at that time, and those people who held on to those Bitcoin, those had a different mindset. They knew what a little thing that they think that Bitcoin might do and might really help in being a parallel economy, bringing out a greater economy into the world, bringing out a better economy to the world than what we have in existing. That kind of understanding a small number of people had, and that small number of people, whatever they hold, and they may have not hold a lot of them, because even at that time there was the messages that was going on was like, if you hold 10 Bitcoins, it's a lot of Bitcoins if it really works out like the way it should work in future. So you understand who the whales are. The whales may be just the ones who hold 10 Bitcoins. Because the ones who hold a lot more, if I remember right, one of them who held 5,000 threw his hard drive, and he went searching for his hard drive in the trash, in the skip, or even bigger, this the place where they dump all the garbage. He went there searching for his hard drive. He never found it, because that's how loosely people held Bitcoin at that time. Because it had zero value, zero interest, zero importance in life. Uh, and those whales are worth holding that kind of crypto today, because they believed in it, they held on to it, they must have really secured it. I did see a lot of other people who had thousands of Bitcoin. They came online, they spoke about it at the time, but I don't know if they still hold those kind of Bitcoins. Most 99% of the people who are in the Bitcoin space have this small kind of experience that they talk about even today, that, oh yeah, I had like this, I wish I'd have done like that, I bought so many, I didn't even secure it. But that's how it should be. If it's not like that, then everybody who are new coming into the space will not get hold of some Bitcoins, including me for that matter. Because when I knew so much about it at that time, of course, the confidence that I have today is a little more than what I had then. But still, I had a lot of confidence above all the other people, that I understood the system of Bitcoin and I was knowing about it and I wanted to buy it and I wanted to test it out. I could have linked my bank account directly to the exchange, because there was only one exchange available in 2011, which is Mt. Gox. And wish I could have bought a lot more, is what I thought when the price jump happened in 13. But lucky I didn't buy it from Mt. Gox, because if I had bought it from Mt. Gox with my bank account linked, I would have bought 1,000 Bitcoins easily. And 1,000 Bitcoins would have been sitting in Mt. Gox wallet, and I've lost it all to the American hackers that they came and hacked. It's actually the government hackers who hacked Mt. Gox. So you understand what the whales don't just happen here. Unlike the existing finance that whales we have, is that small difference that is there in terms of connecting these whales to make an economy happen. Crypto makes it better than the existing one. Well, of course, whatever that I'm saying again gets proven by with time. Future says a lot more, because if today the whales, like I'm saying, is only with 10 Bitcoins, the 10 Bitcoin has to be worth some 10 crores, right? That may happen by end of 2011 or 2021. We are hoping for that by December 2021. Hopefully, each Bitcoin will be priced at close to a crore. So ultimately, it'll be like a 10 crore worth with just 10 Bitcoins. So, price predictions for Bitcoin Cash. That's a very good question, actually. So, Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin are exactly the same. Their path is exactly the same. Their adoption is going to be the same. Very specific to what Bitcoin Cash is different from Bitcoin is Bitcoin Cash moves more freely in an economy like a payments tool. Like Bitcoin is an asset class. You understand what a difference is, right? As an asset class, if you hold a big painting and the painting is worth 10 crores, and if you want to pay somebody 10 crores, you can hand over the painting to him as long as he is happy to receive it. Say your friend, you have to pay 10 crores and you instead want to give him a painting which is worth 10 crores. He may accept it. If he likes it, yes. So you made a transaction. But is that painting worth enough to be a peer to or be a cash system to the public. Say what I mean by that is when you go to you do your everyday chores and go to markets and everything, can you use that payments to use that painting to make payments, maybe like tear up small pieces of that painting and pay all these market guys and where you buy shopping from and things like that? No, you cannot, because the painting is worth as a whole in one, and you can use that one painting as one payment and one person has to accept it. So you did that. That's an asset class. That's like a class which is above your payments class. So that's going to be like Bitcoin, and your Bitcoin Cash is going to be more like used as small payments and settlements, and that's what Satoshi intended for in the beginning, like how he made the white paper, wrote the white paper, right? Peer-to-peer cash system. So that's the small difference. So it has its own class. It's coming up to be that way. In terms of how price will go up with Bitcoin, because they both are same at the bottom line. When Bitcoin gains price, Bitcoin Cash will gain price. When Bitcoin Cash gains, Bitcoin will gain. So they both will fluctuate more or less similarly. The time may differ a little bit, or the difference of time may be a week, 1 day, 2 days. Means the Bitcoin gained 10% of value in 1 day, and Bitcoin Cash may gain after 2 days, 3 days, maximum a week. But they are correlated. They will eventually gain value together. It's not like this bull run Bitcoin got the price rise, and the next bull run after 4 years Bitcoin Cash may get. That will not happen. They both work hand in hand, so they both grow in together in each season. The difference, like I said, from the past, I'm talking about from my past experience, the difference is maximum week of difference, that one gains price and the other may take about a week to gain price. So in that format, Bitcoin Cash will go up along with Bitcoin. Any one bull run cryptocurrency that we are expecting in 2021, will all the cryptocurrencies gain price? Yes, they all will go up. What will be the Bitcoin Cash specific price? Think about how it is to the Bitcoin today is 1:30. It didn't start that way. It was much lesser. It was 1:10, 20 that way. So if the price for every Bitcoin is 30 Bitcoin Cash, the difference may be the same. If each Bitcoin is 1 crore, then you may be able to buy only, say, 30 Bitcoin Cash is 1 crore. So you can divide 1 crore by 30. You will automatically get the price, say about what 3 to 4 lakhs per Bitcoin. What is it running right now? It's close to some 15 to 20,000. Say if he's saying at 20,000, it may go up to 5 lakhs. So it's going to be a healthy jump for it also. Say about 20 to 25 times, which is what we're expecting for Bitcoin also to grow. So that's my prediction for Bitcoin Cash. It's a specific use case that it has as being a payments tool, like I said, peer-to-peer cash system. That particular cash system of Bitcoin Cash is not understood as much by Indians because we have alternatives which are very good. So what I'm talking about, very good alternative is your UPI. So being that we have an UPI, we don't use Bitcoin Cash or a cryptocurrency to make payments in our daily life. But in abroad, a lot of countries do use it that way. In Australia, people are using it that way very specifically. In many other countries, Bitcoin Cash is very popular as a payments tool, as peer-to-peer cash system. So if they find this more useful than Bitcoin for them, price of Bitcoin may go even higher, may go easily up to 10 lakh rupees per Bitcoin. That may be what, like some 16, 17,000 USD per Bitcoin cash. So those kind of things are in place. So the usability factor will increase its value also. If India didn't use it as much now because we have better systems like UPI, maybe in future 2-3 bull runs down the line, Bitcoin Cash proves itself that it's a better tool for a real commerce in the world, and real commerce that we need some kind of payments tool which we have as fiat today, but fiat is not necessarily holding its shine, right? So we have cryptocurrency, and Bitcoin Cash does those things better. It may gain better traction than even Bitcoin. So the hopes are even bigger for Bitcoin Cash, because the real use cases is what makes it worth it and what makes it more valuable. So let's wait and see what is the real thing. And whatever that I said, we have to now measure it against the first bull run for Bitcoin Cash, because the real bull run for Bitcoin Cash never ever happened, because in 17 it was brand new. and in 2021, it'll have its real first bull run that's coming along. So we will be witnessing what a BCH can do. But nevertheless, all cryptos are going to definitely do well because we are competing. Cryptos are competing against fiat, and a fiat system is already very manipulated, very corrupt, and very counterfeitable. Maybe not by the frontline everybody, but the centralized top institutions who are controlling the fiat are actually counterfeiting it at a very high pace and very high volumes to kind of like cover up to those. Cryptocurrencies will gain in a lot of ways and gain in value. In terms of value, it'll gain a lot because 2013 bull run, 2013 bull run, the first one that I have seen, and the first one which was there for the common public to see, gained them into billions. So the first time when I met my friends in a meetup, in a crypto meetup, we were talking about, oh, Bitcoin's market cap just touched 1 billion USD. And then that was a big news. Then we met up again after a week. When we met up after a week, I was jumping. I was saying, oh, Bitcoin just touched a billion. They were like, oh, it did last week, right? What are you talking about? I said, no, it touched 1 billion pounds, not USD anymore, because pounds is a little more expensive than USD. So because I come from UK, I had just spent 7 years in England working there and living there. I'd just come from there. For me, pounds was still on top of my mind. So when it touched 1,000 pounds, 1 billion pounds, I was as excited as a lot of people were excited about how it touched 1 billion in USD. So it kept gaining in traction, right? So that way, I'm looking forward to seeing crypto will definitely gain in traction. It went to billion, now it has to go to trillion. So that's where we will see that in 2021. Hope that got a little bit of insight to what predictions may be for BCH, Uday. So you have a question. I'll just continue with Uday's question right now that he has on a message. BCHSV. So you're talking about the Bitcoin Cash Satoshi vision. You're talking about BC BSV, right? That's what I'm thinking. So BSV is just another cryptocurrency, also just like the way now we have a lot of other altcoins. The price prediction for BSV can be also similar to what I said about it's going to follow Bitcoin. But how good BSV will fit into any one specific use case, we will have to wait and see, because they do develop a lot of things. BSV has developed some technical advancements that they've done for the specific chain of blockchain. They have a little bit of backing in terms of miners, because your miners for Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, they all have same mining capability, which is the ASIC miners. I mean to say the same hardware can be used by all three coins. You could have an ASIC hardware, but the ASIC may not be the same ASIC that Bitcoin runs on. But what I mean to see is Bitcoin ASIC hardware will mine even Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV. So because it works on all three, we'll have to wait and see how this will work. I'm not very knowledgeable about BSV. I wouldn't say clear predictions, because BSV is not something that I have following. I mean to say I'm not following the real developments that they're doing, how these developments are really useful in future. But hey, this is a great tool. We already know that. We'll wait and see for this bull run. So Ramit also joined. Hi Ramit, how are you?
Hi Vikram, yeah. Sorry I'm late.
No problem. We were just talking about a lot of things about Bitcoin, Cash's price prediction. Bitcoin SV was also in between being brought down to see what that kind of price can be. But yeah, we are more inclined towards Bitcoin Cash, because the development of Bitcoin Cash is happening is really specific to what our future should be in economics and commerce. It's trying to help being the real cash of the system and peer-to-peer cash system like Satoshi's point of view. But BSV, like I said, I'm not following total developments of that and how much those developments are really useful for the commerce in future. If Ramit has some ideas on that, he will share with us. Before that, I'll just quickly run through what are the points. Thank you very much. Okay, hold on a second. Manoharan, yes, the fiat system is, we all know that, and more or less a lot of people understand a little bits of it, and hopefully we'll try and, bring those points and get everybody understand. But you understand some specific points of it that we've not mentioned here, do add your message, and yes, you're absolutely right about fiat systems. Hello, Nischay, and I'm a miner basically. Which coin do you suggest me to mine? Uday, great question. You're a miner at this age. For me, if you say 7 years after I have mined your mining, I'm not really sure of how this mining, profitability works today. But the experience comes with only those who are mining. So you must be the better experienced person to see what to mine best. Also depends on what kind of mining equipment you have, right? ASICs or graphic cards or whatever that then mines the coins also specifically. ASICs means you're specifically to Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and your SV. So between those three, a lot of people, it's an experience, or it's a, because when I mined Bitcoin, it was in 2013-14. So at that time it was only Bitcoin. I didn't have to switch between any coins. People do switch between many coins now. That experience, you have to maybe find it online. So yeah, thanks for the answer, Faisal. uh, Gulshan had a question about advice to find crypto exchanges. One of them exchanges is my own exchange. I'm the CEO of the exchange. This is my second one. The first one I installed and I started was Uno Coin back in 2013, of course, with the help of Satwik and other guys to technically build those things. But yes, I have another exchange now. It's called InstaCrypto. InstaCrypto is an exchange which we don't provide wallets. Gulshan, if you are interested in getting your cryptocurrency, understanding that and believing in it, everything by yourself, then the best exchange is InstaCrypto, because in InstaCrypto we do not provide wallets. That means we're not holding your cryptocurrency. We allow you to hold your cryptocurrency. So somebody, if they have a minute, if you can just put a message here with any kind of wallets that's available. Those are decentralized wallets like Coinomi. You have Exoros, you have Mycelium. Those kind of wallets will allow you to hold your own private keys and your own Bitcoins. So with InstaCrypto, when you buy, you get your own wallet and you have to put in your wallet address and you will receive your Bitcoins to your own wallet. With that, you learn a little bit more about cryptocurrency. So that's how I've learned, and that's what I always promote. And InstaCrypto is a very nice and quick exchange now. It's available on Play Store. And Mayank, if you got a link of the InstaCrypto and Zapp Wallet, you can just put it out, and probably Romit can explain about the Zapp Wallet also. So the InstaCrypto exchange will allow you to instantly send your UPI money, and whatever that UPI money you spend on InstaCrypto, you will get equivalent of Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, whatever you've selected. There is no need to put in, if you're a newcomer, you don't have to go to those big exchanges. If you don't understand how to trade and how to put a bid and ask and everything, and then finally get your crypto, and then finally get your crypto in their exchange, and then remove it from there to your wallet, there is a lot of process, and maybe you miss out on in terms of fees. You may be paying more fees. But in InstaCrypto, you just pay one fee and you put in your wallet address, and you will receive it in your own wallet. So that's what is InstaCrypto is about. InstaCrypto also kind of like makes it easy for doing payments and settlements and remittance around the world on the internet. If you were supposed to pay your friend probably 100 rupees worth of crypto, you just put in their address straight away on InstaCrypto and send them 100 rupees from your UPI. The person who is supposed to receive the crypto will automatically receive it directly. The address that you have used of your friend, you will use that on InstaCrypto, and he will receive it directly without you even holding it. So it saves time and exchange methods, and then straight away goes there. The other beauty is that you can always check those transactions online, right? So nothing is faked. So everything is transparent and recorded online, so you can see them onto that. So that's how, of course, InstaCrypto is developed after I've already developed one, which is Uno Coin. So it has to be better than Uno Coin, because there's no point me doing the same thing, right? So we're hoping to have InstaCrypto boom in terms of its understanding its usability factors by, say, the next bull run or something. Alongside with that, we also have, our wallet that we promote at InstaCrypto and together, because on Bitcoin Cash we have a very specific wallet called Zapp Wallet that we use. Is very useful for Bitcoin Cash because of the way it functions for remittances globally, and the way it is also non-custodial. Means when I'm talking about these wallets and non-custodial wallets, right? They allow you to hold the cryptocurrency, not the guy who made the wallet. That shouldn't be the case. In most of the exchanges, the guys who build the exchange and build the wallets will hold your cryptocurrency. That means they can spend your cryptocurrency if needed. If they get hacked, you will lose your cryptocurrency. But in your own custodial wallet, where you get a seed phrase from your wallet's download, that particular wallets will be holding cryptocurrency for you, and you will be in control of those. Those are the important things. But hey, since I said so much about Zappit, let's talk about Zappit Wallet also a bit, and then get back to this. Romit, if you want to just join us and talk about Zappit Wallet, it'll be very useful. Meanwhile, I think Mayank can put in the wallet link from the App Store.
Sure. Thanks, Vikram. So yeah, as you said, Zappit is a Bitcoin Cash wallet, but I think the awesome thing is, are there any new members here? Okay, yeah. The awesome thing that we have tried doing is we've made sure that users in India can use Zappit to make UPI payments, and then for each and every single transaction that a user makes, they receive a token on Bitcoin Cash, like a random token of a random amount. And it's available for every single transaction, not just for some transactions, right? And then what can you do with these tokens, right? So since the tokens on Bitcoin Cash is still new, a lot of tokens are still yet to get that kind of value that Ethereum tokens or other kind of tokens have in the market. But I think it's one of the most highest growing markets, I would say, as we saw with USDT also shifting their token towards the SLP ecosystem from the BTC ecosystem. I think that's really going to happen because the fees to make a single token transaction is much lower on Bitcoin Cash than on the other platforms like Ethereum. So I think the bigger players like Tether is also finding out that um, yeah. So basically, you can buy Bitcoin Cash and sell Bitcoin Cash on from the wallet. You can also use it for like international transfer if your friends or family is abroad. Um, as I said, you can make UPI payments. You can use the tokens however you want, and everything is done in a non-custodial manner, right? Like for example, if you buy from Coinbase, Coinbase is selling you the Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, so that's a custodial option. What we have on Zappit is a non-custodial peer-to-peer kind of a system setup. So if you're buying Bitcoin Cash or selling Bitcoin Cash, you're basically doing it from another user. But if you actually use the platform, it doesn't feel like it's P2P. We have tried to make sure that it has that centralized experience. Um, yeah, that's the brief of Zappit Wallet. You can use it to get all kinds of rewards for referrals, and as I said, for UPI, and we are coming up with more and more things for that.
Thanks, Romit. And I think, yeah, well, when you get a minute, just post that Zappit download link also from the Play Store. I think it'll just make it easy. So there is a question here. Somebody's asked, like, I forgot the name. Let me just go to the question again. Who's that? Uday, you said that there is a difference between InstaCrypto and WazirX of 12K. I couldn't see that. There's the difference that I saw was only 2K, 2,000. I didn't see where you saw that difference. Well, thank you very much for the Zappit wallet link. iOS is coming soon for both InstaCrypto and for Zappit. Meanwhile, yes, on Android itself, there is a great experience that you can have and you can understand about how many use cases that are there for crypto and specifically Bitcoin Cash through a wallet like Zappit. I had used many of the wallets before. So from a lot of wallets, there are some are okay. So I got that, Uday. Let me just go back to you in a minute after that. So in terms of the wallets, yes, the features is like the mycelium and those kind of wallets that I used to use before. They had like small features, but then that was I thought that was big, but then when I came around Zapp it and I understand the way Zapp Wallet works, so you need like one cryptocurrency that really solves a lot of commerce issues that you have that you use, and and all of those are like fit into one wallet. That's like the beauty of it. That's why I love Zappit Wallet, and we work together and we promote these things together. Yes. So in terms of the price, thank you very much, Romit, for mentioning that difference on that. Yes, there is a little difference, but if you see most of the exchanges which are like a bid and ask exchange, those may not have that kind of a difference. But in there are two types of exchanges here. If you see in the list, one is like how Uno Coin kind of a style of an exchange, and the some of them have like a widespread and some of them don't. Once you don't have a widespread, it's mostly like those bid and ask kind of things. That makes it easy. But here it's related to a specific use cases, so the price difference would be there. Uh, some, if you'll see, they'll have like a very small difference because if it's big, it doesn't fit well in that trading list of buy and sell pricing. Okay, and I think we have a few people who are new here totally. I'd like to bring them on and then understand what is your interest and if you have anything specific to ask. Manoharan, we did speak to you about it. If anything that you want to speak about and ask, you can go ahead. You were the one of the first ones who joined us as new. I don't know if you've been here before.
No, this is my second
Okay, okay. Nice to
second
meet you
meetup.
again.
Thanks, Vikram.
Cool. So, of course, you just anytime unmute and then go ahead with your
Sure,
question.
sure, sure, sure. I will raise. Don't worry.
Cool. So, Vishal Yadav, I think you're also new. Hi, nice to have you here. What brings you to the meetup? And do you have anything to ask about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash? Specific to Bitcoin Cash, we talk a lot about here. Go for it. So not to worry. If you want to bring out the question in the message, also you can put it out, or you can ask us later when you remember one and then you want to just jump in. Meanwhile, in terms of the beginning, Romit, we did talk about a little bit that's happened this week. A lot of traction on Ethereum is happening. Uh, the latest news in India also that blockchain technology is going to be explored by Indian. Modi himself was mentioning about it. Those kind of things that we spoke. And what was the other one that we were talking about? There was some other news that was there that made it this week. Yeah, the Washington D.C. Making it as a currency. So, did you hear any of that part? Okay, yeah, that's fine, Vishal. You can be prepared for it. We kind of have meetups every Saturday around this time, 4:30. Also, the next week's Saturday, that is the 1st of August. It's the 3-year anniversary also of Bitcoin Cash. We're going to be celebrating that Bitcoin Cash Day. You guys also are allowed to put in any kind of message if you want to. This is the hashtag for Bitcoin Cash Day. So BCH Day is this particular hashtag is used for the 1st of August's meetups. That is specific to Bitcoin Cash's 3-year anniversary that's happening of the fork. But if you understand what I mean by fork, is just before the fork was also Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin. You can use any name, but that's the way it actually started off, right? Like how Satoshi said, it's going to be a peer-to-peer cash system. It was a peer-to-peer cash system. Only thing is, now that we know that one particular blockchain, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, whatever that is together, is going to be really used by the whole world, and it has to be useful for everybody. It kind of like forked to make itself available for each class and to be better in each class. So Bitcoin became the best in its class, which is an asset class and store of value. Bitcoin Cash became asset store of value also. Along with that, it became more of a peer-to-peer cash system. Similarly, Bitcoin also is a little peer-to-peer cash system, but it's not as cheap as how Bitcoin Cash can do. So its major use case will be as an asset class, and Bitcoin Cash's use case will be measured as a peer-to-peer cash system. That's what we want to bring it out, because when you have peer-to-peer cash system in this world, it is more useful for a daily life, for everybody's life. If you have an asset class, it's not really useful for everyday life, right? As an asset, you hold it once in a while that you buy and sell. As a peer-to-peer cash system that you transfer, value on the internet or by in person, you do that every day in small amounts and small values to most people in your daily everyday life. So in that way, Bitcoin Cash is very specific to that. And when everybody understands that this is the real use case of cryptocurrency, then we know Bitcoin Cash may even shoot Bitcoin in terms of the market cap. So thanks, Mayank. Korea has brought 20% tax on crypto gains. Well, I guess the percentage is not bad, I would say, because capital gains is uh, capital gains cut could be even higher in some countries. So that's great to know. At least they have like a regulation now in place. That means you openly disclose that you bought your crypto before the bull run, and after the bull run, if your price of crypto has gone up and then you sell and you liquidate some of it, there is a 20% tax that you pay. Well, that kind of a tax structure is there in India also. There is no specific price on it, is because of the regulation is not in place. But otherwise, we always talk about in this meetup, there is something called self-regulation that we all know, we all do. When we buy our cryptocurrency, we pay the money for our cryptocurrency from our exchange, from our bank account. From our bank account to an exchange. And when you receive it back to your bank account, if you spent 10,000 rupees to buy a crypto and you actually sold it for 1 lakh and you received 1 lakh rupees, your 90,000 rupees is your capital gains. You have to just disclose that to your CA and you pay your taxes. That's specific to capital gains. But if you're doing a day trading or week trading or whatever the kind of trading that you're doing, and you gain income out of it, you just inform that to your tax guy. Up to 5 lakh rupees is a tax-free system, that if you gained some salary or your profits within that amount, you don't have to pay. If it's higher than that and you've done well in your trading process, just inform your CA, and the money that's extra come in as your profits, just pay tax for that. It's a small amount of tax you have to pay, which is over and above what you made more than 5 lakhs, right, for a year. So you pay the tax and you clear that, so that you stay secure, and in future, if at all they come out with a regulation, you are ahead of the regulation. You are self-regulated. So it's like how a panwala in India regulates himself, right? A panwala in India is doing all of his business in cash. How is he going to show it? Of course, today there are a lot of UPI people use, but till UPI was in place, people were doing it in cash, and they were regulating themselves. They were not going to wait for the taxman to come and check everything. They will say, this is the amount I've gained and this is the tax I'm paying. So like that, we just have to be, self-sustain, and we should know what we have to do. Most of us, we are linked to our CA, and that's how our income tax has been paid, or your IT income tax returns have been filed. So you just have to mention that, because our CEO also has been a known person for crypto from a long time. He's been aware of it since 2013. So he knows what to do. And then similarly, it's very simple. You could have been gaining those value from any kind of trading. Here you just do a crypto trading, and whatever tax that you have, you just pay for that and finish. Well, yeah, most countries come up with their own regulation in these kind of terms. Like they know eventually to get around these. Like Australia and all has trying to get its regulation in place because the way they're doing it is calling exchange owners and then trying to understand how the system works so that they know where to tax it. If you invite an exchange owner, you clearly can understand that exchange deals with banks. So they receive the money from the bank, then give it out in bank. Whatever that comes back to your bank is your gains, like if you have more than what you have paid. So, like I was saying, Romit, did you get to hear about the part of how blockchain is getting popularized in India now? So I just read that news, which I have. It's like probably they're bringing in those. A lot of technologies have been tapped right now, which is 5G, IoT, and blockchain. I think they're talking about blockchain a little bit more now than the IoT and 5G because the 5G we already know China was bringing it out completely from their end, and US is going hard and big on the China because they don't want 5G to be controlled by Chinese completely because it's going to be a centralized system and they're going to snoop on everyone. That's what US is afraid of. Similarly, with cryptocurrency, if you see, at least with cryptocurrency, it depends on blockchain. So blockchain can be harvested by everybody, not necessarily one central specific authority that who's going to be invited, who's going to be in control. Vishal, it's not a problem. We just started like about what 4:40 by the time we started. You're not late. You were in time. Whatever that we spoke about little was these kind of simple things that's happening in the last 1 week. In the last 1 week, I think we had the updates that Ethereum is catching up a little bit of traction because decentralized finance. That's the term Ethereum is riding on right now in this 1 week because it functions like we need something like decentralized finance, right, for the future. So that's getting a little popularized. Blockchain, of course, is getting popularized because our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, also mentioned about it, saying that he's interested in bringing out the best of what is happening in blockchain. And also, there are some state in US are open to making cryptocurrency a legal tender. So, which is the best wallet? We have spoken about them here. The best wallet is, of course, we've got Zapp It, specific to Bitcoin Cash. There are many other wallets, of course, Coinomi, those kind of wallets which holds at least multiple coins. In terms of exchange, of course, UnoCoin was my first exchange. That's like a custodial exchange where they will hold your Bitcoins. If you don't want that to happen, InstaCrypto is the best exchange where you don't have to hold you don't have to allow the exchange to hold your Bitcoin. You hold your own Bitcoin. So that's your best exchange that's around. Also, you get your instant transfers and instant change that happens. You send your rupees and you get your Bitcoin. Vice versa also.
Okay, I have a question. Why DeFi is famous, means more popular in Ethereum?
It's because Ethereum is a programmable money, right? So their blockchain development has happened more towards embedding smart contracts on the blockchain. Specific to that, your decentralized finance is riding on that. So if you say about Ethereum, a lot of newcomers will come in and understand a little bit of crypto from each side. And then when you talk about Bitcoin Cash, the kind of information that goes on the blockchain is mostly about the crypto movement itself, not necessarily any kind of smart contracts. So the smart contract way of blockchain is mostly Ethereum. And the most developers today of crypto developers are riding on Ethereum's blockchain. So the decentralizing financial network is now they're concentrating on the Ethereum blockchain to start with, but it is a ripple effect. It's eventually all these blockchains will become popular because as a smart contract, if I say IP, in IP intellectual property, if you hold intellectual property document with you, that itself holds value. So that means that document is like an asset class. You can sell that particular intellectual property document of yours to somebody else for a great value. So that's an asset class, but that's not a payments class like how your peer-to-peer cash system is, like how Satoshi wrote on his white paper. That is Bitcoin Cash. So in the beginning, of course, they have to understand what's best and how it is secured. So Ethereum is bringing that frontline step to help people build their decentralized financial systems on top of it through the smart contracts and everything. But of course, once that becomes a little popular, they understand like everything need not go as a contract. It is just a verbal personal contract that we do, that I pay you some money, you give me a product. When that level, when it comes to, then your Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and any kind of alternate currencies and tokens will all be useful because they hold certain value. And that value has to move from A to B. Now, A to B is me and you. Mayank and me are doing a business. Mayank and we both understand that Zapp Wallet and Zapp token is great. And Zapp token is useful for me and for you, and we both understand that. Alongside of Zapp token, do we have Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum? All of it is with us. We do that business with Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash with everybody. Between us, me and Mayank, also we can do Bitcoin Cash. But when it's just me and you, when in one specific deal, it can be Bitcoin Cash or Zapp token because both hold the same kind of importance to us. In terms of Bitcoin Cash, I may be sending you 0.01 for that value of 100 rupees. I'm just giving a hypothetical number. But the same way, if I use a Zapp token, I may use 10 Zapp token or 100 Zapp token to do the same kind of value transfer. So I will use any one of them. So that's the platform that we are on. So as soon as that platform becomes bigger, now with Mayank and me, there are 100 other people and they're all watching what is the business that we're doing and it all relates to one particular value, then we all may not understand Zapp token. We may all understand Bitcoin Cash at that level. So then we will use Bitcoin Cash because the other guy says, yes, man, got paid Bitcoin Cash or the value was sent. That's confirmed, is confirming by the remaining 100 people in our group. So that way, when it becomes a global scenario, we need a global scenario system. In that system, any two people can be doing trading. Any two people can be using any cryptocurrency. So all of them is going to be popular. Ethereum right now is picking up the pace for all of us to understand that yes, crypto will be a player in the future. So in terms of your exchange and wallets, there are very many that's out there to understand, Vishal. But of course, you do your research. Whatever that we spoke about is specific to, of course, InstaCrypto and Zappit and those kind of wallets. And then we are talking about what is specific future that we are talking about, the way we're bringing it out. But of course, if your friend says, yes, hey, Bitcoin wallet is great with Mycelium, you should use Mycelium only. Yes, of course, Mycelium also is a great wallet that does only specific to Bitcoin and Ethereum today. If you go for Coinomi, like Mayank was suggesting, Coinomi is a great wallet for multiple currencies. Say now for Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Doge, you like all of these, your portfolio, you want to spread all of them in one particular wallet, then of course you can use Coinomi also. So there's so many today in the crypto space that if you do your own research a little bit, specific to your research and your interest, you will understand that this is better for you and then you can start using it. For say MLM business using Ethereum, well, MLM business can be using any cryptocurrency for that matter, right? It's an MLM. They use anything to build that kind of a multi-level marketing tool. For them to move value A to B, you can use any. So if Ethereum is going to be popular today on that, is because Ethereum has getting a little bit of traction this week, and it's gaining in popularity because of its way of programmable money. So that way, MLM may be talking about more of Ethereum, but if you remember, MLM groups were all riding on Bitcoin until 2017. Bitcoin was being a real popular mode of payments there. Today it is not, because in MLM, if I'm talking about a small payments like 100 rupees kind of payments everybody is trying to do every day and every 2 alternate days, they're paying a very high fee. Today, Bitcoin's fee is touching something around 250 rupees. You would be paying 250 rupees fee to move 100 rupees or even 500 rupees for that matter, or even 1,000. Why should I pay 25% of the value that I'm transferring in fee? So that way, Bitcoin was popular in MLMs. Now it's not as much. Ethereum is popular today because of the the traction it's getting from the last few days. Again, what do we want from these kind of groups? Easy way, simple way, and cheaper way to move value around. So if Ethereum is doing the part today, Ethereum is still a little bit more expensive than Bitcoin Cash. So that's one of the reasons why we boil down to Bitcoin Cash, and we talk more about Bitcoin Cash, and we pull out meetups in the name of Bitcoin Cash for a reason, because Bitcoin Cash does it even more cheaper. In Indian rupees, if I'm moving 1,000 rupees, I'm paying 4 paise as fee on Bitcoin Cash. That's what we want. I understand for those who use it once in a while, it may not be pinching them as much, and for them it's not as important what I'm talking about. But for those who are going to be using cryptocurrencies a little bit more in their life, for them, Bitcoin Cash works like a charm, right? You don't want to be paying higher fee and waiting for transaction confirmation for a long time. You want to pay a small amount of fee and then get your confirmations instantly. That's what is Bitcoin Cash. Thanks, Mayank, for putting out one of the wallets. Coinomi is also one of my favorite. Of course, Ramit, Zappit is the wallet for Bitcoin Cash, right? We all know that. And for the SLP tokens. So in specific, we've not touched base on SLP token today. Any question on SLP, or anybody wants to write anything about SLP? You've heard of it, not heard of it? Just mention that, we will talk about it in a minute. Many big time MLM guys are actually running behind it. Totally. Manohar, there is, you understand what I'm saying, right? MLM guys are the ones who are going to be transacting a lot when, in their life, in their day-to-day life, they will be using value transfer more often. For them, they should know what eventually will work best for them. These kind of MLM activities will spoil the image of cryptocurrency and blockchain. Well, you know what? Any media is a good media. They say they will spoil the the image of cryptocurrency. May not be as much as blockchain. That's why there's a little difference. They've been divided since 2013. People are putting them aside so that different, so that the part of blockchain is different to cryptocurrency. They're always saying cryptocurrency comes into the picture of these kind of activities if there is any kind of illegal activities, right? But hey, cryptocurrency's illegal use to legal use changed in 2012 and beginning of 13 itself. Means what I'm saying is before 2012 end, more cryptocurrencies were used in dark market than the white market. And from the end of 2012 and the beginning of 2013, cryptocurrencies are used more in white market than the dark market. So it is more upground than underground. So we already are using cryptocurrency in the right way. It's just that when people talk about bad things, they bring out all these things that it's used in MLMs and those kind of activities. Why are they used in dark markets and in MLMs and those kind of things? Is because of its real use case. The use case of cryptocurrencies is simple and easy, and less controlled and less or more transparent. Those kind of things are very useful. Any useful tool will be used by the criminals first, right? So that's the way about it. So eventually, when the use case understood by everybody, we all will start using in the white market. But of course, the white market for usage of cryptocurrency had changed 8 years ago. So seven and a half years ago. So since 7.5 years, we know that it is used in a better market than the underground market.
Actually, many countries have, like Singapore, have banned the privacy coins like Zcash and Komodo and Monero, because they are mainly used in dark markets and you cannot track them. That's all.
True that. It makes very clear sense. Most cryptocurrencies are trackable. Some of them have made it very hard to be tracked. Even though they're hard to be tracked, I personally believe that everything can be tracked by profiling somebody who's person using it. So since that way it is hard to track with these privacy coins, so some countries, exactly like Singapore, even Australia has done that. They give importance to the cryptocurrencies, but not necessarily as importance to those which ride on the complete anonymous class, which is like the Monero and the Dash and those kind of. But we don't really need those kind of cryptocurrencies to fill up the market. We want all kind of cryptocurrencies to be useful, especially the ones which play fair in the game. So Bitcoin Cash it is. Anybody who wants higher security for them or higher anonymity for them, they can look up online and then search for their do their research and then find more tools to be used. But here the specific idea is to bring out cryptocurrency's best side for the economy, for the commerce. Okay, so Tim has got a nice question here. You were here before. Nice to have you back, Tim. Would Ramit like to take this question? Is there any DeFi, which is decentralized financial application, created on SLP? Well, SLP is a new coin. If you understand by ERC to SLP, we have a difference of what 4 to 5 years. ERC has got his traction from a long time, so they're working on those kind of parts already. With SLP, it's pretty new. With SLP, if you know, there's Mist, and that's the only one coin which is trying to have its own mining capacity. So that way, the development is slow and it's just pretty new. In my particular understanding, I've not come across very clear applications on that. But I'm sure once Ramit is here, he can also try and see what he knows about that. Gulshan is having a question. I've joined MLM for these crypto. There is lots of fees charged for money exchange. Okay, so Gulshan, you're a use case. Very clearly, we know whatever that money you're transferring for and receiving it, the fees are a big game changer.
Hello?
And hi, Ramit. Okay, I can
Oh, yeah.
let you take this question of Tim.
Okay. Yeah, I just I did see the question. I think the real thing that should be noticed is whether an application is non-custodial or custodial. It doesn't really matter that much whether something is decentralized or centralized. I mean, if something is decentralized but they still hold your coin like in a custodial manner, I think that's still an issue, right? So I think what's more important is the non-custodial aspects than the DeFi aspects. But if you look at SLP, but in general, that itself is, in a way, it's decentralized. But if you're talking about a specific application, I don't think there are any. I mean, again, as you said, it's still new and it's still a growing market. So I'm not sure if a mining coin would be considered a DeFi project. I mean, there is a SLP token that can be mined. Other than that, there are things like sports betting kind of tokens. I think it's called SBS. They kind of have this decentralized financial, like smart contracts built into it, where you can do sports betting using SLP tokens. Other than that, right now there isn't much going on, but I'm looking at new projects that are trying to build DeFi kind of products on SLP.
That's true, Ramit. You've already answered that actually on the message also. It's a little overrated term right now. These overrated terms are getting a little popularity now is because of Ethereum, which is good because if you see, it's a little overrated for us. We understand that from a long time, but a lot of newcomers come in, and these are the small terms and ideas people bring out to get more adoption for that specific crypto, and also eventually get adoption for the whole of the crypto market. It comes into through Ethereum because of the way they're publicizing these things, and of course, this is how every new product is going to get marketed in the ecosystem or in the real economics and commerce, because a small factor that it has that it can be used for is getting a little bit of traction. Right now, it is like it says, it's DeFi, decentralized finance. Decentralized finance, Bitcoin, like when Bitcoin started, that is decentralized finance. That means you're not centrally allowing any one person to hold Bitcoins. You're allowing people to do any kind of business on top of Bitcoin, allowing people to buy, sell, transfer, and use Bitcoin in that system. And as soon as that system is like a product in itself, that product is not taking a centralized company's support to take that money and hold it centrally. So it's a decentralized finance. It could be any cryptocurrency for that matter. Ethereum is riding on it with a backup of smart contracts today. When we really don't need a smart contract related backup, like I said, if it's an IP and if you have to get an IP, then it's a lot of cost and time and everything. And with IP, you do a few certain things, but that supports you. In terms of without IP, also, if you just do any kind of transaction on blockchain, that holds your record, that holds your information, holds the value transfer done, that can be held as a legitimate information in future to hold somebody responsible that yes, this was your wallet and I sent it to you, or this is my address and I sent it to you. I can prove that address is mine from my wallet. Those kind of things are very nicely provable in future. Though we are already on the DeFi system. Ethereum bringing it out more in the light and in the public helps cryptocurrency grow. So I'm all up for it, right? So for that reason, we can always talk about those things. Yeah. So again, I'm just going through one line at a time, and Ramit has mentioned that also point very clearly. The idea eventually has to be about a non-custodial system and an app. And what is Zappit then? We've talked about Zappit Wallet all this while. Zappit is like a decentralized finance. Any decentralized system allows you to do some kind of a task, and your task that is done non-custodial fashion through Zappit is a value transfer that you do through one person to another without even knowing there is a cryptocurrency behind it's playing its part, which is Bitcoin Cash. You can actually move your 1,000 rupees from here to Sri Lanka, and here you move your 1,000 rupees from your UPI, you pay on Zappit Wallet through your UPI. Your 1,000 rupees is converted by a payment partner in India to crypto. The crypto moves from India to Sri Lanka, and the local partner in Sri Lanka moves it to the local fiat for that person who should receive his 1,000 rupees equivalent in Sri Lankan fiat. So that's a decentralized finance. And if you read the whole thing about Zappit today, you understand what is DeFi is already doing. Your decentralized financial system, Ramit and the custodial and the wallet developers hold no cryptocurrency of yours. It's all held on the blockchain. The Zapp Wallet just allows you to do a clear transfer from A to B without any central authority coming in picture. Why do we not need any central authority? Why we always talking about that is because when there is a central authority, means there is one person who's behind it, and that person is in charge of it. Yeah, and with one person being in charge, then you have personal interest and private interest that comes into play. That person can even stop you, like how PayPal and Visa had done it to the few people in the past and not allow them to receive their funding. They can put a hold on that funding. They can manipulate and change the system of how it should be. That's not possible on a decentralized financial system in a non-custodial fashion that we talk about. So in a non-custodial wallet, all these things in a personal trust system, like a trust system of a person, does not come into picture. The trust is now depending on the system itself. So the system does a fair play for everybody because it doesn't give any priority to any one person. Nobody is his friend. The system is built on codes, and those codes are just equal to everyone. Well, yeah, there's a few points that everybody can read those, and I think that's great. Exactly. I think we are messaging and we're talking about it on the message board itself. Clearly, those kind of things is the most important things. And today we may not understand the whole aspect of what is decentralization, what is non-custodial, what is DeFi and those things. A little bit of time will make you understand that yes, small things fall in place. Like I'm also a bank user. You're also a bank user. Like we both use banks. I use my bank to just save my money there as a savings account. Somebody else may use his bank for doing more than what is just a savings account. So aspects of how we use our banks is different. But when do we use a bank? Only when you first get onto a banking ladder, right? So first, if I get an account, only I can start using the features that the banks have. So that way, the first step is to just get your crypto on a non-custodial wallet, to believe in holding your own crypto, learning from your own crypto, and controlling your own assets. That way, then eventually you can understand a lot more aspects that it brings out. So there is a question in the end: is Bitcoin Cash can be used like UPI? UPI doesn't have any PG charges. So UPI does not have any charges. That's exactly why cryptocurrency is not as popular as other countries are. So in Australia, I can just give you one example. There are many countries like that. I'm just giving one small example of this particular country because Bitcoin Cash is pretty popular there. But UPI is not available in Australia. What I mean by that is UPI payments are so simple and so instant. And you stand there, you make a purchase like the way you pay in cash, you're paying in UPI. When you submit cash to that guy, you don't pay any charges. UPI also don't take any charges. When you submit cash, it's instant. That guy got his liquidity and he's happy with that, and you just allowed to leave the shop. It means you have his product, you give him cash, you're ready to leave the shop. Sorry about that. So same way, UPI helps you with that. UPI, when you do a transfer, that guy gets his cash in his bank account. That means he got his liquidity. He'll let you go. So also in UPI, there is no charge. But of course, UPI has got its limitations. Without charge, how many times can you do a transfer per day? 10 times. Maximum how much amount you can do a transfer per day is 1 lakh rupees. So those kind of small limitations is there, but that limitations is great because most of our people fall inside that. That means we really don't need UPI usage more than what it is allotted to us, which is 1 lakh in tops. And is it 2 lakhs? Thank you very much for letting me know. I thought it was 1 lakh. So the maximum amount is X, and then the number of transactions is also X, which is 10. So within that limitation, you fulfill your needs for that day. So the UPI is very useful. But for those who don't have UPI like in Australia, how do they do instant, quick, and easy transfer? They are able to do that by paying a small fee. Now that small fee is 4 paise in a Bitcoin Cash transaction. So that's why Bitcoin Cash is so popular in Australia, because with 4 paise in Indian rupees is nothing for them in cents. It's less than 1 cent. So for them, less than 1 cent you paying as a charge is nothing. As long as it's going instantly, he has his liquidity and you are allowed to leave the shop is what Bitcoin Cash is bringing it to you. What if we use Bitcoin in that place? He has to wait 10 minutes minimum, pay 100 rupee plus fee, which is equivalent to 4 to 5 USD in today's Bitcoin fee that's going around, which is equivalent to 250 rupees. So are you going to pay $4 or $5 as fee to make one transaction? No, that sounds stupid. If your transaction fee amount is $10 or $20. So that's where those small things come into play. India is of course secured and we are all blanketed with this UPI. We love UPI. I've met the guy who built UPI app codes. His name is Nikhil. Great guy in Bangalore. He built this in 3 months, 3 to 4 months with just 10 people in a group, and this is used all over India, and so simple and so useful. Those kind of features are not being adopted by Western banks. Why do they don't allow people to do simple transfers and use feature like UPI in Western banks? Because the control is a little bit more. They don't want to allow an easy way of movement of value between people. Whatever the reason they have for not allowing that is why cryptocurrency is now popular in those countries. Well, Ramit is talking about very clear formats of how when you go beyond the UPI usage and the limitations that UPI gives you, then it's really useful. Then we know what is the next in line, which is BCH. Because in BCH also, when you do a transfer of say 10 lakh rupees, you're actually paying a fee as low as that 4 paise that I said. Maybe it will jump to 10 paise, but who wouldn't want to pay 10 paise for 10 lakh transfer, right? That's a small fee. We even lose that kind of fee on our streets. Foreign rupee also we don't even pick up sometimes. I mean to say that's like you can do 10 transactions within that 1 rupee. So those fees are negligible. So we don't even have to mention that there is a fee for it. But when you do a transfer with Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency for that matter, the fee may be higher. Mostly Bitcoin fees are very higher and that's very popular also because Bitcoin is the first one of its kind, right? So people would want to use Bitcoin, but the fee is what kills that particular transaction. So a lot of things are in place. Knowledge is everything. Of course, the more we talk about these kind of things here, the more we learn, including me, including Ramit. for that matter, because you are all new beginners and say a little bit less involved in cryptocurrency, and you come in with the questions. We also learn from it that what is the real, thoughts and the difficulties people have when we talk about cryptocurrency. That's one of the reasons why you can't just jump from fiat system to crypto system unless the whole process happens, including the knowledge process and time process. With time, everything will fall in place. We understand also in the level of government, there is Venezuela and Iran, who are like the pioneers right now for cryptocurrency. They are mining Bitcoin at a level of the government. Means the government themselves have installed hardware. They want to mine cryptocurrency. They want to mine Bitcoin. They want to be, self-reliant on the value transfers in the future. Why? Because today they're depending so much on the Western banks that they have no other choice. They have to depend on the Western banks because global trade happens to Western banks only. That means if Iran wants to buy a drilling product from somewhere in Europe, how will the drilling product be sent from Europe to Iran before receiving any funds? If Iran's money didn't even get received by the company in Europe, why would they even send the product? Tomorrow, if Iran wants to buy simple things for their defense products, they cannot even buy those things. We're depending on the US sanctions that they have. So for that to go on an alternative, they are already mining Bitcoin. In future, even if they're not able to buy Bitcoin, they have Bitcoin mined by themselves. Hopefully, with the bull run when the price shoots up, little Bitcoins that they have will also have a lot of value. So they can use eventually Bitcoins to make payments globally and get their products. Today, countries like Iran and Venezuela are highly restricted through sanctions. So these companies, which are global companies based out of Iran and Venezuela, are not able to do business because their money doesn't move globally. Within the country, their money moves, but globally, the money doesn't move. Why? Because the banks in New York are controlling this. They don't allow the money. Forget Iran and Venezuela. Let's talk about just India. In India, we made a payment of $1 billion to Iran for the oil that we have bought. The money is still sitting in New York. It's been years now. The New York has not cleared that money. That particular $1 billion was supposed to reach that one particular company in Iran who supplied us the oil. Actually, it's not just one company. The oil company and the shipping company supposed to receive this money, Indian money, didn't go there. Who's responsible for it? We made our payment, they didn't receive the money. So then if that continues to happen, we also have to look into the alternatives, right? So something like that has already been looked into by Iran and Venezuela. They're looking into alternative as Bitcoin. They're mining at government level. Most countries will fall in place now. They will all start doing the same thing, mine their Bitcoins. And of course, there is one big talk about mining takes a lot of electricity and burns too much of energy, is not environmentally sustainable and things like that. Those are bullshit. That is my words. Those things, whoever says about those kind of comments that cryptocurrency and Bitcoin takes a lot of electricity and it's not a healthy way forward, it's actually wrong, because most of these places where they have excess in electricity are the ones who are mining most of the Bitcoins. What I mean by that is, if you have built a dam and an electric production unit, the dam just moves so much water, but necessarily they're not actually harvesting all the water's energy to make electricity, because they're not able to use that kind of electricity. So they've switched off most of these electric generators. When Bitcoin is understood by these kind of people, they're setting up miners, hardwares near those dams, because you can take the hardware anywhere and set it up there. And they're setting it up there. Now all the water that's going every day, the generators are not been switched on, but now it has been switched on. Those generators are generating electricity from nothing, because this water energy is coming every day, because the water is moving every day. The electricity that's now generated for free, because the setup cost is one cost they've already set up. There's no extra setup cost of their generators. So that kind of electricity has been used for mining. So when free electricity is coming to your mining system, you are able to mine better than the others. So with this line that I just said, we can go back to one question that was asked here by Rupesh, I think, Rupesh Uday, who said he does mining. And if you understand now, since you're doing mining, I can give you an example. You're mining and paying the cost of hardware plus the electricity. With all those two being paid, only you're able to mine. And now you're competing against those other people in the world who are mining without any electric cost. They are mining with just hardware cost. So for them, it works out better than us. So one of those reasons why I am not mining, I started mining in 2013. I could have been continued to mine. In 13, I've had 240 gigahashes. Our 240 gigahashes were 1,000th power of the network. We were increasing, we increased pretty slowly. We went up to 500 gigahashes, but the world had gone even faster than that. So we had dropped from 1,000 to 110,000 or 120,000 of the power. But then I could have stayed in the game. The reason we didn't stay in the game is because the game is not for us. It's for the bigger players. Mining game is bigger. It is useful for people in China because they make most of the hardware. And if, like I said, even if you got the hardware and if you get free electricity, like the way I just said, because in so many parts of this world today, the electricity generated is more than the usage. So they stop generating for certain times is because there is no storage. Storage is also very expensive. They are able to now straight away use it on miners. So that way, crypto mining and Bitcoin mining is not going to be dead. It's going to be exponentially increasing and increasing at a government level. Wish India hears this and the people in India hear this. Today, I have my live going on Periscope. On Periscope is linked to Twitter, and most of our senior people in the world today or in India today are connected to Twitter. So if they are able to see posts like this or a video like this, are able to understand at that level crypto is going, India will also think about mining at a government level because we have to. US is doing it, Iran is doing it, Venezuela is doing it. We don't need to be left behind. I guess we went off quite a bit, but I guess, yeah, I'm happy that one of the mining guys got his answers. Any more special questions than that? Go ahead, guys. Okay, so this DEX, of course, I had heard of it. I had forgotten for this minute about the SLP token. We've got any hedge. Uh, Happy to hear that, Ramit. If you got a minute and you want to explain about that, if you know a little bit more in depth about the DX part of it, of the SLP. So hey, yeah, it was a great meetup again today. I think. So in the end, we always talk about the SLP tokens giveaway, right? So guys, we spoke about SLP so much. We have zapped our own Zapp Wallet token and INC Inc. token. We've made it for Insta Crypto users. Please post your SLP address here, and we will forward some tokens for you to test it out. Your SLP wallet address will be available, token address will be available from your Zapp Wallet. If you download a Zapp Wallet, you can put your SLP address here. Or if you have a Bitcoin.com wallet on any SLP supported wallets, you can pull out the SLP address from there. Drop your wallet addresses here, and then we will pass on some, mostly for the newcomers. I think Manohar, you've not received any kind of SLP before from us. And Gulshan also, you guys, both of you are very new for SLP. I'm talking about. So use your Zapp wallet address and share your SLP address here, and we will send you some tokens. Yeah, I think Manoran, that's not the entire address. You might have to. So I'm just posting this video that's gone. So yeah, that's another great feature that's there in Zappit, which we didn't touch on today. It makes UPI payments even quicker than any Paytm or PhonePay and Google Pay apps. So you're just making a simple UPI payments, use Zappit Wallet to make your UPI payments. A great advantage is that you get some tokens as reward for every transaction that you make. Yeah, you got it right, Manoharan, that we've got that. I'll just post it for you. Yes, you're right this time. That's the right address. If you remember what you posted before, it's QRX72. That's how it started, and the whole address is listed. Bye, Mayank. Thanks a lot. It was really nice having you also. We'll catch up next time. Well, of course, the next one is the big one, the 1st of April, 1st of August, I'm sorry. That's the PCH day. So we will be catching up that day too. Gulshan, if you've got yours, simple ledger address also, SLP address, do send it across. It's available on your Zappit wallet, like Romit has mentioned how to find it. We will forward you some Zappit and INC tokens. Bye, Ramit. We'll catch up sometime soon again. It was nice having you. Well, Gulshan, I'm not too sure if you can hear me. If you can leave a message here, or in the Meetup group that you are from where you got your link, you can just leave your SLP address there. Also, we can post it on. So for now, thank you very much, guys. Thanks a lot, Pajal, and have a nice weekend, guys. Take care. Bye.